uh, actors, movie makers, directors, producers, they all are here, and a large number of audience here as well, friends from the media. Well, as the name suggests, for the next 6 days, there's going to be an extravaganza of films here from 11 countries. I believe there are about 32 films which will be screened here from 11 countries. It's going to be an interesting potpourri of films that we all could get to see. We've been constantly looking at ways and means to interact with our ASEAN nations. We believe this friendship is very important to us, and we have a lot of common factors. Historically, there are many common factors, and even in terms of art, culture, there are many commonalities that we find with ASEAN countries. We've had the occasion of some of the leaders come and join us for the Youth Summit a couple of months ago with the Ministry of External Affairs and the Ministry of Youth Affairs. We had the occasion of co-hosting. We had some brilliant young people come from ASEAN nations and interact with each other. We also, I believe, had an occasion of inviting the musical bands from these 11 nations, and they played on different days and entertained, and we learned the art of music and the various songs and the music that these countries, different countries play. Like I mentioned, when we come together and interact with each other, we find that there are a lot of things which we learn about each other through our language, through our food, through our culture. And that we find is basically we may be restricted within geographical boundaries of various countries, but finally we are one people in this one planet. There are a lot of similarities with each other. In the Ministry of Information Broadcasting, we have been taking a lot of measures to create these film festivals, be it with the ASEAN countries, for the BRIC nations, for the European nations. We've also taken our film festivals across the borders to different countries, and we find that this becomes a very interesting point of conversation, and it lightens up the environment of the further interaction with the diplomats. When we were sitting before coming into this hall, we had a very interesting conversation on Indian films, and it'll be a pleasure for all the diplomats, not just ones present here, but also those who are not here, to regularly screen Indian commercial films, because I know when I used to be traveling as an athlete to different countries, one very easy point of conversation used to be when they would start naming our film stars or some of the dialogues from our films. And they would actually remember the songs from films which probably even we did not remember. So these are ways and methods that we improve our friendship and bonds with each other, and we will certainly continue to look forward to it. We've also created a film facilitation cell in the Ministry of Information Broadcasting for any of the producers from any countries to come and produce films in our country by a single window clearance. So we've reduced all the bureaucracy there is, the red tapeism there is to film in India, and made it more simpler for the artists and producers from other countries to come and shoot in India. Because when you go and visit any of the historic sites, the guides there who are guiding you these days never forget to mention, apart from the history of the architecture and the monument, they also mention about what film was screened here. And I remember when I went to Mongolia, I mentioned to the minister there that Mongolia is very beautiful, and I think what you need is more Indians to come and visit Mongolia. And he said, well, all I have to do is get one film to be shot in Mongolia, and the Indians will start visiting this place. So that's the power of cinema. It's the largest, is the most powerful mass media method of communicating to each other. We break barriers, we break boundaries, and language is no longer a barrier when we see cinema. It's basically an art of storytelling, and all of our countries have lovely stories to tell each other. And I think there's, of course, theater, there's other forms of storytelling. But this cinema happens to be the most powerful method of storytelling. Now, whether the story is from Azerbaijan or from Myanmar or from Singapore or from India or from Thailand or any other country, it doesn't really matter, because humans and emotions are same everywhere. And that's what makes us one people. And so I welcome you again for this film festival. I hope you enjoy this. And for the next 6 days, all the films that are there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. May I request Honorable Minister, sir, to please be with us as we would like to felicitate our film personalities. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Harlif Mohammed from Singapore.
So, Colonel Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore, the Information Broadcasting Minister, inaugurating the ASEAN-India Film Festival. The 6-day extravaganza will be a platform for the film